Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and I love figures. You know, figures. Not just action figures, just figures in general. The plastic variety. One thing I don't love is sweating. So, for the most part during this video, you're going to be looking at figures. Not me. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that it was love at first sight. When I first spied a Lego set, I had no idea what it was. But I can tell you, I've always loved the minifigure. From Lego, specifically. Or, as fans call them, minifigs. The first one I remember seeing looked a lot like this. This is an original, just not the one I had when I was growing up. I just held up the checklist for Series 13 of Lego minifigures, and I'm about to unwrap them right here, right now, for you. Which is really... not for you. The video's for you. The figures are for me. Though if you want anything you see in this video, just check out the links we'll put for you in this video's description. If I'm not mistaken, the video I recorded about the first series of Lego minifigures has over 1 million views. And if not 1 million, it's really close. Most people, if they wanted to complete a series of Lego minifigures, would have to pick up blind bags, not knowing which figure was inside. Well, at least not outright. I went the direct route and picked up the entire collection all at once. Because I went through the pain of collecting things when I was a kid. We didn't have the internet. And we certainly didn't have YouTube where we could better connect with people who shared our passions. I wonder how many people out there in my community are passionate about the same kind of stuff I am. Let me know. Gee whiz, Chris, you've been recording a video about this series of minifigures and you really haven't even started yet. Get on with it already, okay? Hey! I didn't know you could talk. As you can clearly see, I've already put together Hot Dog Guy, because he's my favorite one out of this entire series. First up, we have a sheriff. And I don't know if he's the new sheriff in town, but I don't know if I had a sheriff before this sheriff. He's got a gold star on his hat, and that mustache will actually twirl around. It's independent of his actual head, or the headpiece. And you can see that he's looking for Bad Bart, or Bad Billy, or some bad guy there with the wanted poster. Next up, it's a goblin. And even though I've seen a series of goblins before, this one must be unique as it's a part of the Lego Minifigures Series 13. This part of his head comes off, and you can see the hat and his ears come with it. Wait, is that a he or a she? Well, either way, it comes with a sword and a bag of loot. En garde! Which is French for, Lego minifigures are awesome! It's a fencer, and you can see that he's got a smirk on his face if you remove his headpiece. He's also got a foil! That's what they call this part. Doesn't have a sharp end, though, much like the regular foil. That I know of. I don't know. I'm not a fencer. Is the next one a myth? Hardly. It's a unicorn that has this tail that goes in between the legs and the body itself. There's really nothing incredibly unique about this particular minifig, apart from the fact that it is a unicorn. Was a unicorn. What's the male ogre from an earlier Lego minifigure series going to do? Reproduce with the female ogre. This is new, and you can tell it's female. She's got lipstick, and if I take that part off, you can see the face, or head, as it's mostly an eye. It's got eyelashes, much like my wife Diana does. I'm not saying my wife's an ogre. I'm just saying that she likes makeup and stuff like apparently female ogres do as well. Some might say that I'm a fossil, having been on YouTube for quite a while now, but at least this Lego paleontologist isn't studying me yet. She's holding on to a fossil there. That's a rather unique piece. The bone we've probably seen before, and her hair actually comes off with her pith helmet. Hopefully that doesn't piss you off. I know. I'm quite a charmer, but nothing like the snake charmer with this snake, which seems to be a bit more of a soft plastic. It looks like a cobra, complete with markings. This flute, I might add, is not really looking much like a regular flute might, but it was stuck on the base, and I thought I didn't get it when I had received this particular minifigure, but I would say it's still quite a charmer, even though I'm not a fan of snakes. Let's just hope I never have to face this warrior on the field of battle. She comes with these sharper swords, which aren't really sharp because they're plastic, but I'm just saying that she would likely do her number on me, even though I'm not really strong with the maths, or, you know, fighting in general. I'm just saying that she's the warrior. I've got Diana convinced that I'm a handyman, but nothing like this real handyman, and believe it or not, even this being a toy is more of a real handyman than I am. He comes with this printed brick of wood as well as a saw, and to my knowledge, I've never seen that piece before. His hair comes off with his hard hat, and he's probably not as hard-headed as I am. Well, you can tell by the way I do my videos. I collect figures just like this disco lady. She's got a microphone and rolls in on roller skates that are attached to the base. She has print on her back and her arms. She is awesome, even if you don't like disco. I used to, I admit it. And for those of you wondering, that's exactly what my hair would look like on my head if I grew it out. You're welcome. Is Zach Galifianakis an adult fan of Lego too? I'm not sure, but I'd imagine that if he was a Lego minifigure, he'd look a lot like this. Of course, he's a king of comedy, nothing like this king of some kind of imaginary kingdom, with a cape and a separate shoulder piece there as well. And then he's got a sword, a nice decoration on the front. You can remove his hair to show that the king is bald until you put the hair with its crown back on. Are you going to answer the call of Cthulhu? Yeah, I don't know if I would do that if I were you. And I'm not saying that this is an official Cthulhu minifigure. I'm just saying that I'd imagine that if Cthulhu was a minifigure, it would look a lot like this guy, or girl, or alien species here with the gun and the markings on the head and the awesomeness. This is another one of my favorite minifigures from this particular series. Brick like an Egyptian. I hope you don't meet the other end of this guy's scimitar, because it could be sharp and pointy. Even though it's not really sharp and pointy, it's just a piece of plastic. I'm just saying that if he was really a warrior, he'd probably be carrying something that would be a lot sharper than this. And I think that this is a rather sharp minifigure itself, even though I totally tossed the headpiece aside. You know what we needed? Another space warrior of sorts. I don't know. I've seen so many of these in earlier LEGO minifigures series that I can't imagine people not wanting to do some army building with this guy. And if I take his helmet off there, I can reverse the head to show you that he doesn't necessarily have to have a metallic-looking face. It's completely up to you, and the shoulders are removable as well, or at least this piece of the shoulder right there. See, it's got a little logo or insignia on there, if you can see that at all. Will this video ever end? Maybe with some black magic from this evil wizard, or maybe he's not really evil. Maybe he's just misunderstood. Maybe he just looks evil because of his cape and his staff with fire coming out of it and the beard. I mean, anybody who's got a beard must be evil, right? Or maybe it's his eyes. I don't know. What makes this guy evil? So there you have it, the fun of LEGO Minifigures Series 13. Don't sit there and tell me you're not fascinated by this stuff. Am I the only fan of figures? Either way, I hope you appreciated today's effort enough to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and at this point I'm going to leave you to your own devices.